Here is the uncomfortable truth. Most retriever bake-offs are fake, and teams ship the loser with confidence.
That happens because retrieval looks easy to measure, but fair comparison is hard. Tiny changes in the test setup can make one system look smarter when nothing real improved.
So when a team says, we swapped retriever A for retriever B and got better answers, your first reaction should be, what exactly?
Ask what stayed constant. If the query set changed, if the labels changed, if chunking changed, if filtering changed, then you are not comparing retrievers. You are comparing whole experiments.
Give me a concrete failure mode, not a theory.
Say, retriever A is tested on last month's support queries, and retriever B is tested on this month's queries after the product changed. B might seem worse, simply because the questions got harder. The ranking is now meaningless.
That sounds obvious, but teams still do it because they are moving fast.
Right, and speed creates accidental cheating. People add fresh queries, relabel edge cases, tweak chunk size, and then celebrate a game that came from the setup, not the retriever.
So the first hard rule is constant queries and constant labels.
Exactly. Use the same query set and the same relevance judgments for every candidate. Otherwise, one system gets an easier exam or a different answer key.
And labels matter because retrieval is not binary in the real world, right?
Yes, a query can have multiple useful passages, partially useful passages, or only one truly decisive chunk. If you relabel while comparing systems, you can quietly move the goalposts.
Let's make that real.
Imagine a docs assistant. The query is, how do I rotate an API key without downtime? Yesterday, your label marked the security guide as relevant. Today, after seeing retriever B surface a migration note, you add that too. Now B gets credit for labels created after the fact. That is leakage.
And leakage is dangerous because it crowns a winner that may collapse in production.
Exactly. The business risk is simple. The team with the prettier offline score gets budget, gets deployed, and then users hit dead ends because the comparison was biased.
All right. Beyond queries and labels, what else has to stay controlled?
Control the corpus, chunking strategy, metadata filters, preprocessing, language normalization, and the value of K. Also keep the re-ranker and generator fixed if the goal is to isolate retrieval.
Because if you change the re-ranker too, the retriever can hide behind a stronger downstream stage.
Right. If retriever B feeds a better re-ranker, you learned something useful about the pipeline, but not about B alone. Fair comparison starts with a clear target, component versus end-to-end system.
There is a power struggle here. Product wants the answer quality to rise. Infra wants lower latency. Search wants better recall. Who wins the comparison?
Only the team that declares the constraints upfront. Fixed latency budget, index freshness, memory budget, and allowable pre-processing time. Otherwise, one retriever wins by spending twice the compute or using stale indexes.
Example.
Suppose dense retriever B beats sparse retriever A by 3 points on recall at 10. But B needs a much larger index and an extra embedding pass that updates nightly instead of hourly. If your docs change every hour, that offline win can become a production loss.
So, fairness is not just same test data. It is same operating conditions.
Yes, fair means same questions, same labels, same corpus snapshot, same pre-processing rules, same downstream stages, and the same resource limits. Then, differences in results actually mean something.
What about random variation? Teams love one lucky run.
Use enough queries, stratify by query type, and inspect slices like short keyword queries, long natural language queries, and multi-hop queries. A retriever that wins on average but fails on your most valuable slice may still be the wrong choice.
That is the part people skip, because one headline number is easier to sell.
And one headline number can hide strategic damage. If enterprise customers ask long compliance questions and your winner only improved FAQ lookups, you just optimized for the cheap traffic, not the revenue-critical traffic.
So if I had to boil this down for a team deciding next week, what is the checklist?
Freeze the query set. Freeze the labels. Freeze the corpus snapshot. Hold chunking, filters, re-ranking, and generation constant unless you are testing the full pipeline. Lock budgets for latency, freshness, and compute. Then compare by metrics and by slices that reflect real user value.
And if a result appears magical,
Treat it like a bug until proven otherwise. In retrieval, the fairest comparison is not the one with the biggest win. It is the one where changing the winner would survive reality.